whoever tried to break in. But somebody called as soon as we went to look at it
Of course.
that we were breaking into.
Of course. Just so you know, I'm now documenting everything for the public to see.
Now my truck's all tore off and I can't lock this door because I can't.
Where did it happen at?
Right across the street, right there. In that parking lot.
Did you get a case report? No, they didn't even give you. They didn't even take a report.
They didn't give me nothing.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Well, hey there, Kyle Schmidt. Yeah, I set this live stream all screwy. So I am out and about on foot here in Englewood, and I'm about to document some stuff that I've been meaning to document for quite a while. And that would be all of the private businesses, hey Mushroom Manny, that have decided to partner with the Englewood Police Department in giving them full discretion to come onto their property at any given time and pretty much have access to all people that they would want to at any given time, you know, primarily those homeless people who they don't want on their property, when they could just tell them to leave and they don't leave, and they could hire their own security to ensure that happens. But instead, here in Englewood, there is an actual effort being made to send the police out to encourage businesses to sign a trespass agreement. So these trespass agreements are an interesting topic in the United States of America. And that is why I am going to start talking about who and what businesses in Englewood are participating in this thing known as socialism, communism, however you want to describe it, when private businesses use the strong arm of government to do the things that they don't want to do, when they actually have the right to just call the police and have somebody removed from their private property. Well, isn't it a really good feeling here in America when you have a free market that's functioning well and there's this thing called consumer choice? That's how you protest private business. Wherein government, we're forced to deal with government. So we use our protections that were put in writing, known as the Constitution of the United States and the amendments to that Constitution, to include the First Amendment of the United States Constitution, wherein there are 5 parts to the First Amendment. And we use protest and redress of that First Amendment when we are keeping government in check. Now, I am of that personality and method of madness wherein, look, if you're a private business and you're just an asshole and I don't like how you do business, I just don't patronize you. I just don't. And so many of you know what has gone on with Walmart and that whole thing that I've been through with Walmart here in Englewood, wherein it was more likely than not a targeted effort to ensure that I wasn't buying gift cards to give to the homeless community anymore here in Englewood. And yes, while another Walmart got super stupid about it also the next day when I went to try to purchase other gift cards, because here in this central part of Englewood, there's nowhere to get groceries. And especially if you're on foot. Sure, there's King Soopers, but King Soopers has more trespassed pretty much all of the homeless from going into King Soopers. So even if it's one person they've trespassed, they don't have access to food. So then if you've been trespassed from Walmart and King Soopers, where do you get food? Sure, stealing is wrong. And that's why my nonprofit that you donate money to buys gift cards. So it curbs the stealing, and private business still makes their money whether the gift card gets used or not. That's called doing good business. So that's why I continue to buy those gift cards. Well, no more. No more business with Walmart, and I've been serious about it and have held steadfast. But during the course of all that, and reminding myself that if you're going to boycott this business, what about these other businesses in Englewood that you've already determined you're not going to support? I would like to share those with you and talk about some of the support I have given them that they're going to lose. And we're going to start right here at the corner of, what is this? I'm at Lincoln and, well, here's Broadway. So what is this street? Old Hampton, is it? Yeah, because there's the hospital. Okay, so here we are, and we're going to talk about the Army surplus store for starters. Now, I had done a series of records requests a little while ago, and they took some time, and I had every intention of making sure that I followed up with everyone knowing what the results of these were, because it took quite a while to get all of the trespass agreements that private businesses have entered into partnership with the Englewood Police Department in Englewood, Colorado. So I want to start a series of visiting these businesses, of course, from public access points like the public sidewalk or the alley, and we'll talk about those things. Interestingly, Walmart did not have a trespass agreement with the city or the police department. What they instead have is pretty much on-call 24/7 services, wherein they get priority response from the Englewood Police Department to include patrolling the store. Now, wouldn't that be interesting that all of a sudden all these cops are working in the store at Englewood? I have conversation with some of these cops, and then all of a sudden I'm getting treated like I'm a piece of shit at Walmart for about the same time frame that I've been having conversations with the cops that are sitting in their cars in front of Walmart, talking to the security boys from Allied who are wannabe cops who can't even complete their 5th grade education in basic sentence structure, who are really on schedule to be a cop. They're just not there yet. And all of a sudden, Regan starts getting treated like a piece of shit every time she goes to check out, buy gift cards. It was continuing to culminate and be something every fucking time I went to Walmart. How coincidental, if you will. So I am waiting for some additional records requests to be returned, and we are going to unravel how much Walmart is, or potentially not, paying the city of Englewood for their 24/7 protection services from the Englewood Police Department with taxpayer dollars. But in the course of being out and about today, you're not going to believe what happened. I met some great friends over here, some super nice guys. You guys watch my car, right? Just know you're on camera, that's all. And so I met this nice group of guys, but I want to tell you, did you all watch my live stream the other day when we were right down the street here? And I set out to do outreach, and all of a sudden there were a bunch of cops in that apartment building over there, and they drug that little lady out, screaming and kicking, and then took her dog, and I burst into tears, and it was a wicked, sad thing to watch. Well, guess what? I just had a 30-minute conversation with her right here on the corner. Yep. I was driving down Broadway here, and I saw her. And I immediately pulled over and said, "Hey, little lady," I said, "can you please wait right there for me so I can talk to you? I really need to talk to you. I saw what happened to you the other day when the cops drug you out of your home." So she waited for me, and we had a conversation, and she now has my name and phone number. I hope she will contact me. There's clearly some issues with mental health. However, that does not mean what the cops did to her was okay. So, I hope to continue to build a relationship of trust with her, because according to her, she has no one. And that's not okay with me. So I'm trying to find an address here on this building before I start saying some things about it. So it's nearing 100 degrees out here and the wind is blowing. But today's mission is very much about exposing this stuff, and then I'm probably going to give out some cooling rags, right? I mean, because of all your generous donations, I can take these cooling rags and make a bucket of ice water, and you'll activate gift cards. Please don't activate them to Walmart. I'm sorry, I may have missed something. So my address, if you need the address to the nonprofit, it's 9878 West Bellevue Avenue, number 103, and that's to Helping Hands for Dignity Coalition, HFDC, if you just want to use the acronym. 9878 West Bellevue Avenue, number 103, and it's Denver, and the zip code is 80123. And it needs to be gift cards that cater to the homeless. That would be awesome. If you want to make that donation, please just do not buy them to Walmart. Walmart they just lost probably close to $2,000 in business just this last week between me, my husband, his work expenses, and the amount of money that I spend there with the nonprofit. So no more business with Walmart, period. And once my Sam's Club membership is up, because I can't justify going to Costco, when I just renewed that membership about a month ago, I've already curbed everything. I figure if I've been treated like shit through Walmart's companies for the better part of my life that I've shopped at Walmart. I'm 53 years old. I've been shopping at Walmart since I worked for Walmart. Walmart was my first job as a teenager. And lo and behold, I got fired from Walmart. But hold on, we're gonna go back into the shade here for a minute, because I need to pull my other phone out that's got all the records requests on it, and read some stuff to you here. So I'm on the public sidewalk here. Let me just make sure I'm understanding what we got going on. Thanks, Kyle. I really appreciate that. So yeah, can you imagine me being in a store somewhere here in Englewood, and they've got a shitty ass employee who, by the way, anybody that works at these companies has been signing these trespass agreements. There was just a gas station clerk down here at the Stinker that just signed the trespass agreement. I tried to get in touch with Stinker Corporate to try to talk to somebody. They don't even have any contact information. I wonder if Stinker knows that one of their clerks there at the Stinker gas station signed, there may have been a title assistant manager. I read through a lot of them, but it was truly a nobody. Now, I would think a corporate store of any sort would have to have some corporate approval before entering into an agreement with the government, and especially the police. So I thought I'd do them a favor and maybe save them some business because I used to go there. The minute I saw that trespass agreement, I never went there again. But I thought, hey, I wonder if they know that their employee did that. Fuck them. I don't care. You let them do it. It happened. I'm not going to patronize you. You're going to lose business. And that's the way it works, because that's how a free market works. So on that note, I got to put the phone down for just a second while I get this other phone out, and not like that. So we're going to start here at the Army Navy surplus store. So the person that entered into this agreement is Kelly Hinds, Hindes, of the Army Navy surplus store. This trespass agreement was signed on 5/29 of 25. She is the accounting office manager. And she says, I'm going to read this agreement to you. This is their standard agreement. So every time I read these, you know what they say. Every time I talk about these, you've already known what they say. It says, I so-and-so of this store in the city of Englewood, county of Arapahoe, state of Colorado, hereby authorize the Englewood Police Department and its officers the permission to sign, serve, and issue trespass notices for the above property. I understand that I may be called to testify in a court of law and must cooperate in the prosecution of any trespass case. Failure to appear may result in dismissal of charges. I further understand that EPD officers retain full discretion in determining whether enforcement action is appropriate, and that this agreement does not obligate EPD to respond to or act in every circumstance. The agreement that may be in effect for 2 years of the following, this agreement shall be in effect for 2 years of the following calendar year or until revoked by the property representative or the Englewood Police Department. Okay, so Kelly, the accounting office manager here for this company, which is a local business, very local, very dependent on local business. I've given a lot of business to this place, and in fact spent almost $1,000 here last year in one day when I equipped all of 5280 staff with all of their security needs to run cold weather shelter. Over the years, I have given them so much business in clothing. In fact, they were the retailer that sold us, our family, shirts that read Border Patrol, and became a story, actually there was national coverage around the kids that wore Border Patrol shirts to their high school, and one of them was expelled for it. Yeah, that would have been my kid. And so the whole reason for the purchase of the Border Patrol shirts was because my kids liked them and they wanted them. And there was no political driven bullshit behind any of it. They wanted to wear them, I think for Halloween or something that year. I don't know. They ended up wearing them to school. It turned into this fucking total political slaughter fest on them, our whole family. It just, all the bullshit, right? That was this company. And so that was this business, Army Surplus of Englewood. They've been here forever and ever. And you know, business is so shitty anyway. Englewood has pretty much ran all of their business out of here. Denver can't get a single fucking business to come to Denver after they've taxed and regulated the shit out of them, wherein minimum wage is creeping up to $20 an hour in Denver, wherein our state minimum wage is almost $16 an hour here. And the economy sucks. Businesses are desperate for business. And so in the height of needing every dollar in the private sector, when every dollar counts for you, unlike how it counts for government, do you think it's a good idea to do things that hinder your business? Probably not. So that's my whole spiel on that. So the Army Navy surplus store has these addresses included in the trespass agreement. 3524 South Broadway, 3522 South Broadway, 3521 South Broadway, 3518 South Broadway, 3512 South Broadway, 3514 South Broadway, 3555 South Lincoln, 3517 South Lincoln, 3555 South Lincoln, and 3555 South Sherman. Who knew that the Army surplus store managed or owned so much property right here in Englewood? Who knew? So I'm trying to figure out if they own the Rico's pizzeria building here. I am terrible with I am directionally challenged from time to time, remembering numbers and cutoffs for the 0-100 block, and which is Broadway, by the way. So let's look. What is 3512 South Broadway, Englewood? Nope, that's one of their buildings down here, and I'll show you. Let's see, Rico's Pizza, Englewood. They've been here since 1979. I feel like they own their own building. Yeah, they're 3500 South. So, they do not own this building. They're actually pretty cool. People are really desperate to stay hydrated, and I've heard that they've been very nice in giving people just some ice. So that's really great to hear. So let's get back to these trespass agreements. So I don't know how many of these I'm going to do in a series, but I'm going to keep doing a lot of them. Hopefully I'm going to be able to get out here often. So I gave you those addresses for what is in the agreement that Army Surplus has. Look, this is public information. And if you're going to be doing this shit, yeah, you're going to run the risk of, say, an auditor. Hey, everybody, how about this being the actual definition to auditing? See, I don't call myself an auditor because I don't think walking into buildings to see if you can record takes much brain power. That's not a challenge to me. Oh, yay, so what? You're going to arrest me? Oh, okay. Well, I'd rather it have more of a purpose for a broader public awareness. And I think that people should know that the Army Surplus is partnering with the police. I mean, I could stand out here. There's a lot of things I can do to make my protest of your private business very public business. So yes, this is 3512. So this is one of their buildings. I know their buildings are wild out here. They just kind of run the whole gamut of the block here. And I was concerned that they may be included, but they're not. So 3512, but Sherman and Lincoln, they're all that way. I don't know, this must be another separate building because they had 3 or 4 addresses here on South Broadway. Yeah. So this is their original building here. Oh, and just so you're aware, there's a flock camera. I also know where every single flock camera in Englewood is located as well. You saw a live stream here where these women were, doing their No Kings protest, and that crazy goofball got out of her car and was going to beat the shit out of everybody. Remember her? That's where all this took place. But anyway, this is the Army surplus store. This is the Little Dry Creek Trail where the cops like to run people out from. We had our 4th of July event right across the way over there, all on public property. So where in the world are the rest of these addresses? Let me read those again. 3524 South Broadway, which is this building. America the Beautiful. We partner with the police to come beat the shit out of you. We want the police to just be able to show up and exercise whatever authority they want or not over our parking lot at any time. So that's 3524. Right, because home of the free, because of the brave. Right. And so this one's got to have a number on it too. I'm assuming. Yeah, this is going to be 22 because this is 21. Is this 21? Yeah, this was 3521. No, that's 3512. So where is 24, 22, 21, 18, and 12? It's not the bank, right? I'll bet it's these apartments up in here, eh? Yeah. That's what it is. Interesting. So even private residences? I wonder if these people maybe that live in these apartments know that that's what their landlord has done to them, perhaps? I don't know. Or maybe they live in their own building. I don't know. I also found a lot of trespass agreements in here for apartment buildings. Now, if you lived in an apartment building, would you not want to know that your management has now sold you off to free reign of the police entering the building you live in and at any time they so desire? And so what does that mean for your privacy in where you live? And your Fourth Amendment rights. Okay, so I know they have some other buildings back here too that are like another entrance into the store, and then they have, I think, storage. It's probably their, quote unquote warehouse. Yeah, I think they own this one on Lincoln. Then they own these. So this is a public alley. So they're probably mad about things like this, right? So this lot, I don't know what address this lot is. I'm assuming it is a private lot, but I don't know. Because of the utility structure. See, this is where you got to get all the maps out and all that shit with the county assessor's office. I don't have time for that. Yep, here's 3517 and 3519. That's on the list here. 1921. Oh, so these are 19 and 21 South Broadway right here. Yeah. So there's Broadway over there. So hell, Englewood probably sold them the alley too. Oh, I think this is old property, old family money. They were here for many, many years, right? Look at that halo cam. They like their cameras. So that's 55 Lincoln. So this street's Lincoln right here. And yeah, so they've lost my business. And I think you should spread the word, because I don't think private business is worthy of people's money when they're using the strong arm of government to do their bidding that they need to do themselves. And giving these dirty ass cops in Englewood free reign to do whatever the fuck they want? You straight up out your fucking mind. Cops anywhere for that matter. Okay, so that's our first business to address. The most disappointing in all of the trespass agreements that I came across. Army surplus. So there's that. I suspect it was probably sold to them in the way that oh no, they're open. Oh, Rico's? Yeah, no, they're closed. So, say that again? Oh, wait a minute. Those people in that car, you mean? Yeah, I don't know. Where'd they come from? They were following? Dude, don't ask me for money. Do you need a cooling rag? Like that. For the heat? All right. Well, you're in public, though. That's the issue. So, yeah, it's actually legal. You can take your shirt off. I don't have an issue with you taking your shirt off. I ain't soliciting shit other than for you to not die from heat stroke. Yeah, I don't know. So when I go live, some people watch me for nefarious reasons. So I appreciate you pointing that out, because I'm live streaming. So people show up sometimes. Uh-huh.
Looking like he was trying to follow you.
Interesting.
He was in the Overton black.
Oh, not this car.
No.
Oh, okay.
He was in a police marked car.
Ah. So you're probably right.
Very scantily.
I'm sure you're right.
On the side.
Yeah. I call that the blacked out car.
You gotta watch yourself.
Oh, I watch myself.
They will try to keep you out of it.
I know the police want to kill me. Trust me, I know. I do know. That's why I try not to be in, that's why I have to live stream stuff. It's a little bit of a layer of protection. Remember me saying about recording?
There's every time you would like one of us to, or two of us, whatever, to
Yeah.
escort you, go with you, we're down.
I appreciate that. So now I know. Thank you. I know where to come.
Stay blessed.
Yeah, thank you. So I met just the sweetest people here, and that's always the case, right? I meet the best people out here on the streets, the ones that want to do right by each other, are caught up in being behind the 8 ball for various reasons, some of it being bad choices they made that they can't get out of, that no one is going to forgive them of. Some of them will pay their sentences and never be forgiven or given a second chance at life, period. Some of them the cops just like to fuck with. But he was pointing out to me that the cops were driving through earlier, and he pointed out the car, which is their blacked out car. So the next one the next business we're gonna look at is yes, sir.
Yeah, I trouble you for one of those cooling, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I asked you if you wanted some bottles of water. Do you guys need some bottles of water? Yeah, if they're not cold, they're not. They have just cut a whole bunch of people off. The only one that's happened to, you have to.
State and federal. You took them both. That's supposed to be 3 branches.
It's hard to know. They can tell you. I'd go over there to H&R Block.
It's okay.
Here.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe you owe somebody. Maybe somebody got a lien.
That's why I'm saying, like, I know plus a couple of times that I dropped money, whatever it was.
It was good talking to you.
Right?
I gotta go. Thank you very much. I've got your card. So I talked to them for a very long time. They love to talk. They'll talk forever. Okay, now let's go find these other trespass agreements. Hang with me. Well, I kind of know the vicinity we're going to go, so we're going to go over there because if we don't leave here, these guys are never going to stop coming up to me and trying to talk to me. Which I love to talk, but that's not why I came out here today. And I ended up talking for an hour before I got started. So yeah, they told me their stories about why they're out here. It's interesting how quick they, like, almost instantly know who they can and can't trust, right? And they always feel compelled to pull me into all their marriages that went south. Look, you guys, they're real stories. They're not making them up. There's a reason they're out here. There is a reason everyone is out here. Nobody woke up last week, 20 years ago, 50 years ago, yesterday, and said, I want to go be a drug addict and live in homelessness. I have never yet been able to get an answer from people, real sober people that said, yeah, you know, I just wanted to be a worthless bum to society. I wanted to go out there and do nothing with my life and annoy everybody just by the sight of my existence and be treated like human scum. Nobody has ever said that. You can have genuine discussions about what is bad decision making that lends to homelessness and addiction and all those kinds of things. Yes, we can have those very real discussions. They're human discussions. People don't predict that, you know what, this series of bad choices right now is going to lend to homelessness. Here comes another cop. It's Murphy. Yay. He wants to be seen. That's why he's doing that. At least I think it's Murphy. They're all growing beards, so they all look alike. Because they all like to, be weird like that. It's weird. Chicks don't even do that shit. Chicks like to set themselves apart. Not these fucking weirdos. So, yeah, you can have all these real discussions about how you made a series of bad decisions that rendered you homeless. Sure. Take ownership of it. You done fucked up. So what are you going to do now to fix it? Well, let's see. I now have this criminal record. I made a bad choice and got evicted, or I didn't make a bad choice and got evicted from somewhere anyway. Oh, okay, so with an eviction on your record, you're a good 7 years out from ever being able to rent again. So there's that. So you make all these bad choices and now you want to fix them. And you can't. So you're out here. So you deserve to be treated with more criminalization for your existence. You deserve to be told every day to get a job, you worthless bum, when you can't even get a place to live because your record, for whatever reason, it doesn't even let you get a job. Look, I've got a great financial history, if you will, I guess, that would lend to me being able to rent or buy anything if I had the money. My criminal record, however, in my 17 arrests, tells a different story, wherein there are no victims, wherein all of my arrests and plea deal convictions have been for the crimes of failure to leave a public building, failure to follow the order of the police, right? And I can't even get the fucking job that I need or want. So how do you think somebody out here is supposed to go get a job to pay rent? Yeah, we're at Petco, where the pets go and the cops go. This is where they belong. Go put yourselves in an aquarium. try to sell yourselves to people. Go swim around in the fish tanks and the guinea pig tanks and the hamsters, snake tanks, whatever. Go swim with the turtles. This is the EPD Cobb Shop right here. So anyway, you get where I'm going with that. And so I know this is going to take forever to cover all these businesses, and I'm never going to get this done with all of my TED Talks. So I should just shut the hell up and get on with this. So we've been out here for 2 hours and I've covered one business. I think there's like 99 or 101 of them, by the way. Yeah. So I may just have to end up reading some of them. You know what? Forget that. I want to check in with the chat. Stupid 7648. I'm doing a good job. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. What you talking about? 25 years clean. Congratulations. Keep it up. Come out here and help me talk to some of these people, or do it in your neck of the woods. Or maybe you already do it. Did you know that South Carolina rent, what you talking about, so you're in South Carolina, is around $1,000 for 2 bedrooms, and most jobs here pay $50,000 to $70,000 a year. That's decent. That's livable. That's good. Not here. Hey, we got a call. Is in the house. Right on. Good to see you in here. I had the most interesting run-in yesterday. Did I tell you guys about this yet? I'm trying to do more videos and more streams because it's helping the algorithm. And I keep getting emails and lots of messages about, why do you only have 24,000 subs? Well, it's because I don't stay consistent. I don't edit videos, and I don't play the YouTube games. But consistency is key in growing the algorithm. So I'm at least trying to do that. So anyway, I go out yesterday just to do a little bit of outreach, because this week I have an agreement with other friends about doing outreach, because we're going to be 100 or hotter every day starting yesterday. And so it's really going to culminate. It's going to culminate into a lot of crisis. It's probably going to culminate into some deaths. It's going to culminate into violence. Things happen when the temperatures go extreme. So I think it's exceptionally important. Beekeepers, well, thank you. I think it's exceptionally important that we are very, very alert and helping. And I'm talking just the simplest little bit of help, like the cooling rags and the water. It prevents a lot of these things. Food. When you're in crisis and you may be struggling with addiction issues, alcohol addiction issues, you need to eat, you need to stay hydrated. And if you don't do those things and you're already experiencing those other things on top of the heat or cold, wicked bad things happen. So I was out and about yesterday, and I got to publish this video. I just got to publish it. And I needed ice right here in Englewood. Well, I'm not going to get ice at Walmart. That's the cheapest place to get it. You see, you guys, that's why I have a problem with not being thrifty with donation dollars, because, well, this stupid Walmart only has ice some of the time. But I could have gone to Sam's Club and got 3 times the amount of ice that I got for what I paid for it at freaking 7-Eleven. But no, I go to 7-Eleven. But while I was at 7-Eleven, interestingly, I'm in there and I'm paying for this outrageously overpriced ice, and in walks somebody I see in my peripheral, and he's asking if he can get just a cup of ice, and I see he's kind of theatrical and huffing and puffing a little bit, so he's obviously having some urgency. And so I kind of look over at him, and he immediately catches my attention. He's this youngish looking kid, and I said, "Hey, you need a drink? You get what you need. You need something more besides ice." Well, he went over there and got a pop, a great big soda. Not great big, but he got pop. Well, so like caffeine, you guys, I do try to do my best in educating people about what can make their circumstances worse on the fly. So caffeine in heat, it's one of the worst things you can do for yourself. And so that's why I don't ever give out pop and things like that in inclement weather. I really don't like to give out pop. It's an extra treat if I do it. And we did do it at the 4th of July event because it was an extra treat. They love their Mountain Dew, and we had plenty of water and plenty of people around, and everybody was fine, healthy, and happy. But when you're trying to prevent like heat stroke and all those other kinds of things, that's a bad thing to do. But if people need a drink, I mean, yeah, pop, it serves as a drink in their minds. Okay, so there's my TED Talk. So he gets a pop. So he immediately grabs my attention. I'm like, all right, yeah. And he thanked me up and down, and he entered his 7-Eleven card number or whatever the number, rewards number is, and saved some money on the purchase of this pop. Great. And so he's outside the 7-Eleven. So I immediately go out there and strike up conversation with him. This dude was a trip. Never seen him before, don't know where he came from, don't know how he ended up in that 7-Eleven, but ultimately at the end of the day, we exchanged, well, I gave him my number. I was supposed to hear from him. I'm a little disappointed and alerted as to why I didn't hear from him. But we'll see. I mean, I always have these theories about where did this person come from just at the same exact time that I ended up here? I mean, it couldn't possibly like be a cop or a CI or somebody working to follow me around. I don't know, make a drug deal with me, something like that. I don't know. Why would I be so in wonderment about why these bizarre things happen at bizarre times and bizarre locations with truly eclectic people? Wait till I publish that video. I think he was probably the real deal, but I don't know. But I never heard from him again. So anyway, if his story is true, it's quite compelling. And his name is Gregory, and I hope to hear from him again, especially after I publish his video. So, anyway, I just had to tell you that. And check in with the chat. Be careful how you treat people, because you never know when you are entertaining angels. Hey, see, that's awesome. You know, I don't have to think about that. Because people will say, oh, well, you're such a hypocrite. Look how you treat the cops. Well, look how you're treating other people. I'm just exposing it. And I treat you with how you command to be treated. And I don't think any cops are angels. But going around during the course of a day, I don't have to think about how I treat people, because I honestly go out of my way to treat people that look like they might be suffering. I, more often than not, go out of my way to try to help those people. And I go about my day all day long, treating people how I would like to be treated. Now, when you're over at Walmart and you're this 85-year-old crotchety ass checker telling me I can't buy gift cards, I'm not going to be that nice to you. And you walk up to me and say you can't buy those. Why? Let's see. You will be treated how you command to be treated. So, Circle K will give free ice and water if they have a cup of their own. Sure, if it's their policy, but if you're homeless and you've got a clerk that decides you can't come in here. Oh, and by my own admittance, while I was out doing outreach yesterday, just so you're aware, I filed my appeal to appeal the bullshit trespass order or the exclusion order, whatever the fuck Sean Lewis calls his bullshit, from the Civic Center. So during the appeal, the exclusion is stayed. So I did drive through there last night, and I stepped on the sidewalk of the Civic Center to check on the elderly folks that were sitting out front, who both looked like they were nodding off because it was so freaking hot. I needed to ensure that they were okay. So I got out of the car to make contact with them. They needed food, and I went over to McDonald's and bought them food because I asked them what they would want to eat, as in anything from Walmart, and they said, we'll take fast food. Well, of course they will. So because McDonald's treats me so well over here in Englewood, and they sell me endless amounts of gift cards with no attitude, with no problems, I might have to wait. I might have to wait a little while. It gets a little irritating, but I'm willing to wait so I can ensure that if people need something as far as food and drink, that they can get it from somewhere, even if they have to walk through the drive-through 24 hours in the middle of the night. So I drove over to McDonald's, and I didn't just give them a gift card. I actually got them the food because it was too hot for them to make the journey over to McDonald's, and I took the food back to them. And because I did that, they were able to get some nourishment and some hydration, and they were able to get back with the program. Isn't that amazing? So thank you, Sean Lewis, Englewood PD, Tamara Niles, for ensuring that I can't make that contact unless I appeal your bullshit exclusion from a public compound wherein I participate in First Amendment activity by exercising charitable work to people in need that you would rather see die. Tell me that Englewood is not trying to kill people. Convince me. Go for it. I don't care. Say what you want to say. Send me an email. Explain this to me. Make it make sense. Jeannie, that's great. So I'm supposed to get off of my soapbox, stop the TED Talks, and get on with the businesses that have entered into agreement Oh yes, Taco Bell, right here. Taco Bell is another one. Right here, so this is on Hampton. There's Taco Bell. It's on Hampton, or 285. There's McDonald's. As you can see, there's Petco. So Taco Bell. Yes, I quit going to Taco Bell as well. Used to go there quite a bit and get them. I would get loads and loads of tacos or soft tacos, whatever. Use their app. I'd order ahead, go through the drive-thru. Spend a lot of money at this Taco Bell. No more. April Hoyt, representative of Taco Bell, located at 540 West Hampton, has entered into a trespass agreement with the Englewood Police Department in that they can come on that property anytime they want. Entered into this agreement on 1/24 of 26. And Wartofsky, Officer Wartofsky, did this trespass agreement. His badge number is 2406. That was really stupid, Wartofsky, of you. And April Hoist or Hoyt, H-O-U-P-T, Hout, H-O-U-P-T or H-O-Y-O-T. She is the shift lead at Taco Bell. She is a very, very important person at Taco Bell. And yeah, so she signed that for them. So no more Taco Bell. Then we have Zaid Daywood, representative Denver Auto Gallery. And this is just in the order they were sent to me. I'm just going to read some of them. And we'll go visit them. But I just want to read some of them to you while it's 98 degrees out and the wind is blowing. This person, and look, hey, if this is how you want to run your business, yeah, totally up to you. I'm not giving you a penny. And I'm going to tell everybody about what you're doing. And those people, too, can decide whether or not they're going to spend any money in your business. You think, Kyle? I think so, too. So, Zaid Daywood, he's the co-owner of Denver Auto Gallery. Which is located at 2855 South Broadway and 2415 South Broadway. He entered into that trespass agreement with, oh look, Jean Mulder, the other bitch that I'm suing at the Englewood Police Department. They entered into this agreement on 1/6/26. Yeah, that's Jay Mulder. Yep. Jean Mulder, who conspired with the librarians to have me trespassed from the library. Then we've got Brad Haycoop, representative of Atlas Coffee, located at 200 West Bellevue. Entered into agreement 1/26 with, it looks like, another cop, badge number 2309, whoever that is. I'd have to go dig that one up. Oh, is that, I don't know who that is. I don't know. So Brad Haycoop is the owner of Atlas Coffee. And the reason I think it's important for you to see some of these properties is like, why? Why do you need these? Because you want to be important partners with the cops? And just in case you're wondering, I already said it once, but I want to read what the trespass agreement says again. I so-and-so with this company located at this address in Arapahoe County, Colorado, authorizes the Englewood Police Department and its officers, so that's all of them, the permission to sign, serve, and issue trespass notices or summons for the above property. I understand that I may be called to testify in a court of law and must cooperate in the prosecution of any trespass case. Failure to appear may result in dismissal of charges. I further understand that EPD officers retain full discretion in determining whether enforcement action is appropriate. Yeah, let that one sink in for a minute. And that this agreement does not obligate EPD to respond or act in every circumstance. This agreement shall be in effect for 2 years of the following calendar year or until revoked by the property representative or by the Englewood Police Department. I think that the Englewood Police Department should be immediately ordered to rescind all of these agreements. If Sean Lewis had a pair of cojones, which he doesn't, they're up here, the one little one that he's got left, he's choking on it constantly. He would immediately order the chief of police, since, he hired his dumbass and all. Dude, we're not doing this shit. Cancel every bit of that. and let every one of these fucking people know that we're not at their beck and call. We are here to take down violent criminals. We are not here to provide private security services to private businesses that are responsible for their own fucking shit. And just leave it at that. I mean, they don't even have to like make that public. They could just do that. So anyway, that's what that says. So here's another one. Dave McGee, representative of the BRICS, spelled B-R-I-X, located at 100 through 170 West Grand Avenue, 105 through 195 West Bellevue Avenue, and 5051 South Acoma Street. I happen to know that these are apartment buildings, big ones, with a lot of people living in them. He says that he is the maintenance supervisor. Let that one sink in. He represents the BRICS, spelled B-R-I-X, and everyone living in all of these apartment buildings, apparently at these addresses. He has entered into an agreement allowing the police free access into all of these common areas where all of these apartments exist. These are indoor apartment buildings. These are hallway apartment buildings. So wherein I've entered into an agreement to lease an apartment at the BRICS, unbeknownst to me, the maintenance supervisor has allowed the cops free reign of the common area that I have to access to get to my residence. Interesting. Next one. Oh, this is a really interesting one too. We should go see this place. It's like it moved into Englewood and immediately shut down. I don't know. Something's up with this place. It used to be an AutoZone or an auto parts store. Can't remember exactly which one. But it's right, literally like next door to the Gothic Theater in Englewood, for those of you that know the local landscape. It's the Kaiway Denver piano store. Like, you know, fancy ass grand pianos and stuff. Kanki Takahara is the representative of Kaiway Denver, K-A-W-A-I. Not sure how to pronounce that exactly. At 3191 South Broadway. This person is the general manager. Why? So you can kick people off the sidewalk, kick them out of your parking lot. I don't know. Weird, but the place is never open and it's all curtained up again. Don't know what that's about. Like, they probably came to Englewood with high hopes of, or maybe false promises or tax credits or something that didn't happen. Who knows? Or regulations that got bestowed upon them. Here's another one. What's this place? At 4061 South Broadway. This is the office manager. Her name is Emily Sterling. I am Emily Sterling, representative of 100% Service Inc. at 4061 South Broadway. Entered into that trespass agreement in December of 25. I don't know what this place is. I think this is also an apartment building. And I think I went and checked it out at one point at 4073 South Broadway. This is James Veit. Says he's the owner. He doesn't say what the property is. It just repeats the address at 4073 South Broadway. And whose signature is this? This looks like Mulder's again. It's all scribbly. Isn't that interesting? No legible signatures on these documents of the Englewood police representative. And by the way, yeah, this, just so you know, this is what it looks like. Let me show you. Can you see that? They, of course, you know, did their redactions. Just get that in at a different angle and focus. Yeah. So. Yeah, that's James. And by the way, if you're just now tuning in or you didn't hear me say this, there's, I believe, over 100 of these currently. And it's been several months since I did a request for these. So they're continuing to do these. And they did announce this at that meeting. For those of you that were with me that day at the live streamed meeting at the cop shop, wherein the cops were letting the businesses come together to bitch about the homeless and what are you doing, and let's do something about these people. And we're going to go over to Safari Car Wash so I can show you that place as well. And the people that attended that meeting, remember they were talking about these trespass agreements there. And yeah, and how they need more of them. Oh, yes, right over here in this vicinity, mattress factory. Yeah. Let's take a little gander. I'm going to show you this because this whole area here, I can't quite understand this one. And so I'm hoping to get a better understanding of this. Hang on. Mattress factory, this cell phone shithole, this little shit strip mall over here. That's why I came over here, because I want to show you the lay of the land here and why they're doing these things. And I found shade, so that's awesome. And remember, there is some case law. It's called Bach versus Westminster about what is publicly accessible to protest and redress of a person's government. You should look that up. So what do I do here? We don't want any of that. Oh yeah, Mark Douglas. He also did this trespass agreement. looks like Mulder did this one here at the mattress factory. So this address here is Englewood. So it's 475, and this is Unit A of Hampton. But there's also one in here for this wireless store that has since changed, I thought, since I read these. So what do these places need this trespass agreement for? Let's take a walk here. You see this nice grass right here? This is where they don't want people sitting. I'd have to go back and see if there's one for this building. Because this is now owned by Wells Fargo. I think they bought the whole building from what I can recall. Or something happened. I learned something about this building when I was helping Sarah, because this was Leonard O'Neill's bank. And remember, people were stealing money out of his account, and Englewood never bothered to address that crime. And we were here at this bank numerous times. And so I don't know if they have a new trespass agreement, because they don't want people on the grass staying cool. Now notice, if you will, how green the grass is. We have water restrictions everywhere in the metro area except here in Englewood, because Englewood, quote unquote, makes their own water. Look up the Englewood, city of Englewood water situation. So yeah, I don't quite understand why Mattress Firm here. We'll just pick on Mattress Firm for starters, because they deserve it. Can you tell me why they need a trespass agreement? Well, first of all, why this is even a thing is beyond the point. But yeah, see, they have, so this building here, so don't do business here at Mattress Firm. That's my recommendation. I sure the hell am not going to do business in here. I walked in here, what was it, a couple years ago. I was going to buy one of the Tempur-Pedic things we were looking at, and they suck anyway at customer service. We were in here for maybe, I don't know, less than 10 minutes and walked out. Never stepped foot in here again. Ended up getting that somewhere else. So yeah, they need a trespass agreement here, I guess, to keep the homeless away. I don't know. What do we need a trespass agreement for with the police department right here? Because somebody might be sitting in the shade on a sidewalk, which is highly debatable about being publicly accessible and public anyway. Like if I wanted to stand out here and say collect signatures, and hey, do you think this business should collect tax dollars? Should collect taxes. Yeah, and so this also, I'm pretty sure I read, don't quote me on this one yet. This used to be a different carrier, not Total Wireless. So I thought I had come across one, but I'm not sure. So at any rate, what's the reason for a trespass agreement here? And that would be at Mattress Firm. So let's see, who signed this trespass agreement at Mattress Firm? That would be Darius Howe perhaps. I wonder if the cops ID'd them. I wonder if Mulder ID'd Darius or Darian. I don't know. And he says he is the store manager, the senior store manager. Darius Howe, Howe? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so that's here at Mattress Firm. Just so you can see the lay of the land. I mean, this place, Englewood, is hurting bad for businesses. I mean, they got lots of liquor stores and lots of vape stores, stuff like that. They've got Walmart. They've got Walmart left, probably their biggest retail tax revenue. Are there bigger ones in Englewood? I don't know. Could be. I don't know what. Can't think of any right off the top of my head. No. So yeah, there's Taco Bell right over there. Loaf and Jug. I think Loaf and Jug has one too. Don't quote me on it yet. I'm pretty sure they do. And if you're also wondering, the cop shop is right there. You know, that big $30 million compound where they drink on the job and throw their beer cans out front. Right there. Right there is the cop shop. Right here is Mattress Firm. Uh-huh. Right there is Taco Bell. Right down there's McDonald's. Right over there's Walmart. But we're going to leave this area for now. And I want to show you another area. There's this, South Broadway revitalization plan by some businesses down south that think, we'll do it this way. We'll get rid of the homeless this way. Well, guess what? Maybe the homeless want to get rid of you. And that's literally what they're doing. They're sugarcoating all these little infrastructure plans and all this federal money they're getting. It's all a masquerade for how do we get rid of these older hotels that serve people that we don't like, yada, yada, yada. And remember, I'm not entitled to any self-defense. Denver cops made sure to strip that right away from me. Specifically, Joel Bell, the commander of District 3, when he told his sob story about being a victim of Regan Benson. And there was a protection order issued wherein he was sure his life and his family's life was at risk. And so while the protection order was modified for the obvious, because Denver hates the Second Amendment, and because some judges hate guns and hate upholding people's rights, I don't have any Second Amendment rights at all. They've been stripped indefinitely. I just like to make that reminder every so often. And so while the government has stripped me of my right to self-defense, as it is also in the process trying to end my life, I am exceptionally vulnerable. And I have exactly 41 people watching this stream right now. And Joel Bell feared for his life because of all 24,000 of my YouTube followers. So when random people confront me, like that dude that zipped down his pants and was whipping out his junk at me the other day, threatening to kick my ass. So when people like that do things like that to me, I don't have any self-defense other than my words and maybe a little tiny knife, maybe some pepper spray, stuff like that. You know, that's probably going to serve a woman well in a case wherein she needs to defend her life. But oh well. So we're just gonna take a little drive. I don't need no stinking phone holder. And I'm not using my cell phone. I'm hands-free. While you all are propped up in my purse. Should you fall over, wait for the vehicle to come to a complete stop. And then I will become distracted with my hands and I will reach over and I will prop the phone back up. But for now, I cannot possibly multitask and drive and not commit traffic infractions if I'm hands-free and distracted, eating my lunch, drinking my water, and talking to you, and at the same time staying stopped at a red stop light. I don't know how I get shit done. If I don't ask the government, what should I do today? Should I tie my shoes with PABA-free, ozone-enriched shoelaces? Or should I just stay home and go get in my government-approved mattress that I didn't tear the label off of with my fireproof pillow, all thanks to the government? What should I do today? Okay, stop talking to me. The light is green. I'm turning. I'm trying not to commit any traffic infractions. I'm remembering to look to my side. Oh, I'm trying not to change too many lanes too fast so I get pulled over. We're cutting across 4 lanes of traffic so I can make my turn onto Broadway while talking to you, sucking on my water bottle, and eating my lunch. We are once again at a red light. I currently only have one hand on the steering wheel. I'm accelerating my vehicle to the speed of now 30 miles an hour while eating my lunch and talking to you and remembering to signal. How in the fuck am I possibly doing all this? I don't know. And I looked at a person because his umbrella is blowing away. I'm eating my lunch with one hand on the wheel and talking to you and stopping at a red light and now proceeding through the red light after a complete stop just to get in traffic that's fucked up as this guy's coming up my ass doing 110 in this construction zone that Englewood fully enjoys using as a prop to make people fucking miserable. How am I getting all of this done? And my car's beeping at me. It's like warning me of something, which, by the way, get this shit. So the other day, I'm driving down Broadway. I wasn't even talking. I wasn't even eating. None of that kind of shit. And out of the blue comes this person from behind this tree on this median and decides that he's not going to stop and he's going to step into traffic. I have plenty of time to stop, but my car goes ahead and decides to stop for me. And everything on the dash starts screaming at me. It says, brake, brake, brake. And my car locks up. I've got my seatbelt on. My car locks up. My head gets thrown into the steering wheel, bounces off the steering wheel because the front end of the car did this when the car locked up, I guess, because it saw a person and thought I was going to hit this person. So I proceeded to go home with a massive headache. My shoulder was all jacked up. I was like, what the hell just happened? So needless to say, I think some safety features need to get turned off on this vehicle because I almost died. And so we're just sitting in construction here. Many of you saw this on video at the city council meeting when I played it yesterday, and it was played and talked about by Chris Dewis and another man. I'm going to flip a legal U-turn right now. And I'm going to do some parking on the public street. For those of you that are local, you know where I'm at. I'm at Oxford and Broadway. The pawn store, the Goodwill. And behind me is Safari Car Wash. Let's see. I, Haley Smith, representative of Goodwill of Colorado, located at 4160 South Broadway, enter into this trespass agreement with the Englewood Police Department. And Haley Smith is the store manager. I just got a text from an important person, and he says, I always catch your live streams way late, but as you read the Any Stories addresses, I think about your criminal history, and I'm thinking, fuck Craig. Where's Regan's list? That was good, friend. That was awesome. I like it. Uh-oh. Hold on. We got to go back to that trespass agreement. Now, why would the Goodwill enter into a trespass agreement with the Englewood Police Department when the bulk of their customer clientele needs to utilize this store? This was another reason that they lost my business and had the opportunity to make $500 on the purchase of my gift cards for the community that needs to access their store. Haley Smith, the store manager of Goodwill, right here, entered into an agreement with the Englewood Police Department to let them come here anytime they want and do whatever they want or not. Haley Smith. That was signed in March of 26. What do you think of that? I mean, seriously, what do you think of that shit? Isn't that something? It gets even more disappointing than this. It truly does. And I don't know. Oh, this was Totus. Totus. Sergeant Totus, who was at the meeting, who heads up this trespass agreement thingy in Englewood. Sergeant Totus presented this to Haley Smith, the store manager. But I also want to let you know, during that meeting, again, I was talking to you earlier about the owners of Safari Car Wash. Yeah, they were at this meeting. And needless to say, the meeting came to a very abrupt end. When I asked the owners of the Safari Car Wash, and you can go watch this live stream. It's on my channel. It's still there. The sound is terrible because, as you know, it was hard to pick up all the sound in the public meeting. I asked them where they wanted them to go. That's not really what I wanted to say. But that's what needed to be said. In order for me to avoid arrest and the orchestration of some bullshit warrant down the road that would have lent to me being charged with the crime of, who knows, disruption of a public meeting, threats, who knows? Who knows what they would have come up with, right? And so after I told Sergeant Totus he should be ashamed of himself, I guess Totus, they pretty much decided to end the meeting after this nasty, haggish, fucking bitch owner, woman, and her husband, after this stupid bitch said, I wish we could just take them over there and hose them down. referencing the car wash. And they sat in this meeting and made fun of one of the homeless women here in Englewood. And I kind of lost my shit to the point of bursting into tears. How can people do this to other people? First of all, it defines what kind of person you are. I get all that. But to sit in a room full of people, my age, younger, older, I guess peers, if you will, to include the cops, or one cop, Sergeant Totus, and somebody not slam their hand down on the table and declare, we're not doing this, was kind of beyond me and comprehension. Because every one of those people have interacted with Tina. They know she's sick. And they didn't care enough to not use her as an example of what other humans feel needs to be done to other humans by using a high-powered car wash nozzle that would literally rip their skin off. Those are the things that put me into a point of wondering, what am I doing here? This is hopeless. Yeah. Those people are the owners of Safari Car Wash. We used to come here all the time. Never again. And I can't think of a more appropriate business to protest on the public sidewalk than this business. But if I were to do this alone, I would be assaulted. Because they have a cult following of people that agree with them, that violence is the answer. And I would like to organize a protest of this business. I very much would. If any of you would like to organize that protest and let me know when it is, I will gladly join you. I will gladly bring signage. I will do that. I probably won't organize that protest myself because I don't have time. I don't have time to stop everything I'm doing to focus on that, to prepare for that, to get the word out, to tell people, hey, you remember this? You said you wanted to protest this? Well, now I've organized it. I can't be all things all the time to all people. And I know that. But I can stand up for what is right when presented with that opportunity to do that. And that is why I was there at that meeting that night. But these people are fucking disgusting. And so is their car wash. So fuck these people and their fucking car wash. And is Santiago's on this trespass agreement? This has yet to be determined. But this little alcove right here, oops, sorry, let's flip that around. Is Santiago's on this? I gotta go back and read it. I like them, but because of them, I have stopped going here until I can figure out if this trespass agreement does include them, because the way I read it, it does. This is the Goodwill, and this is an alcove that a notorious homeless man just hangs out in. And let's see, one of the things I have to go back and find this trespass agreement that Safari Car Wash signed and read the details of it. But I have 3 separate batches of trespass agreements. Because there's a definition in here about an apartment building or renting to someone. Maybe over here. We're going to access that from the alley. But so Safari Car Wash bitch was complaining about somebody being by their vending machine. And she's tired of people having to step over these people. So could we just take them and hose them down? So those buildings you see are attached. The Goodwill, the Santiago's. Apparently, this owner of Safari owns these buildings. I need to go back and figure that out. He made statement that he has a renter at this public meeting, but this is Safari Car Wash that's lost a lot of my business. And a lot of other commercial business that was sent over here with the connection we have. So I'm sure they're thrilled about that. They probably don't need my kind here anyway, right? They don't need my kind spending money here. So they have entered into agreement with the Englewood Police Department that they can come onto this property at any time and do whatever they want or not. So these have their own address. 4199. So just over here getting a lay of the land. So they have these, picnic tables here. I'm pretty sure Santiago's is included in that trespass agreement. And those people had made some comment about a renter, but maybe it was in reference to Santiago's renting the building from them. Because perhaps since Goodwill signed their own trespass agreement, They are separate buildings. Yep. Okay, so I guess, you know, Goodwill needs the police, even though, you know, they'll just show up and shoot people anyway. So I don't know if any of you know this or not, but this is where Matthew Stanley shot and killed a guy. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. Matthew Stanley is the cop that rolled up here in his SUV that he didn't know how to put in park. And he had forgot to wear his body cam that day. And he shot and killed a guy. And there was absolutely no video evidence of the shooting. There were no witnesses of the shooting. And that actually happened here before all these houses were built, right here. And then Matthew Stanley, of course, you know, he was cleared. No big deal. The DA at the time, John Kellner, cleared him. Yeah, it was totally justified. It was a justified shooting because he had a gun. The other guy had a gun. Yep. Not even kidding. And people, and so those folks that I was talking to earlier, those guys that were so nice to me, they were talking about, hey, you got to really stand up to these cops. These are older dudes, right? They get it. They know what's going on. And I said, look, I'm going to tell you right now. I said, with you guys out here, if you're going to be standing up to the cops, you better be recording. I said, otherwise, you better fully comply. I said, because they're going to kill you. And they didn't disagree. They weren't in shock that I was saying that. So yeah, this Goodwill here has its store manager, Haley Smith, has signed an agreement with the Englewood Police Department, and that they can come on here anytime they want and do whatever they want. I'm sure they're going to claim, oh, we got people going through our dumpster, yada, yada, yada. Well, hire your own damn security. I mean, that's how that works, right? So you just don't get free 24/7 around-the-clock services from taxpayers that expect the police to be out here catching violent criminals. Just doesn't work that way. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, it does. I lied. So they got cameras everywhere, right? They got cameras facing the public street. A camera. They got a camera up there. They got a camera over here. Yeah, this place will never get another red cent from me. Ever again. So, I don't, these people keep coming out. I suppose they have a problem. They probably think, oh my God, we better call the police. They'll be on our side because that woman's out there with a camera pointing at our building. Holy shit, save us from ourselves. Englewood PD, please, hurry. Well, shit, I just stepped in gum. I guess that's what I get. So I suspect there's been a whole bunch of calls already to Englewood PD. I don't give a shit. I'm sure that's probably why the cops were rolling by earlier when those guys said, hey, they're coming out here to follow you. No, I guarantee you probably somebody in Army surplus within the first 5 minutes fucking called the cops. Oh, well. Let's see, what does that tell you about the state of the state of the state? I'm going to call the cops. I'm going to let them do everything for me because they're good, they're honest, they're wholesome, and they'll for sure do what my agenda dictates. Well, yeah, they will. If it involves violence, yeah, absolutely they will. So, what I want to do, and another reason I'm in and out is because the phones are going to overheat today. That was another, so yeah, we're up to 99 now. So let's plug this phone in before I forget. Because you never know what can happen on a Regan Benson live stream. Okay. I really want to go find this trespass agreement here. Let's read some more. Oh yeah, Moe's Original Barbecue. That's another one. Okay, yeah, Goodwill. So we left off at Goodwill. Then we've got Moe's Original Barbecue. Stephen Schulk. He is the owner of Moe's Barbecue. Good to know. This is how you want your business ran, so I never step foot in there. Original Barbecue at 3275 South Broadway and 3295 South Broadway. That was signed in January of 26. The Goodwill one was signed in March of 26. Then we've got Sui Zhang of Bacara USA LLC at 1312 West Stanford Avenue. This person calls themselves the GM of Bacara USA LLC. Well, this is an interesting trespass agreement form. This is like a handmade one. This isn't as extensive in what it says as the other ones. This one says, I, so-and-so, representative so-and-so at the address, City of Englewood, Arapahoe County, grant the Englewood Police Department and its officers the authority to sign, serve, and issue trespass notices for the above property. I understand that I may be called to testify in a court of law. This agreement shall be in effect for a period of 1 year, at which time it will be reevaluated. So this is what this agreement says, and this was signed in March of this year. So they don't all say the same thing either. Interesting, huh? Then we have hold on. I have got to put this sunshade up while we're sitting here. I mean, it's blazing. It is blazing. Oh, and I have to go to my job this day as well. So I'll have to be wrapping it up fairly soon. But hold on. Don't go anywhere. Ann Ross of Sobo 65 LLC and The Den, located at 3465 and 3475 South Broadway. I saw this one. This also is an apartment building. This was signed in February of 26, and it's good for a period of 1 year. Yeah, Ann Ross signs another one. Ann Ross says that she is the property manager and agent for owner. Michael Sundberg, Davy Tree. I know where this is at. It's clear down in their industrial area. 4450 South Windermere Street. This place runs along Santa Fe. No clue why they would ever need to enter into it's. If somebody's on their property, they're breaking in. So what? Let's see. So you're giving the Englewood Police Department the authority to go on your property to maybe see if somebody's breaking into your property? What is the thought process here with some of these businesses? I'm not getting this. It makes 0 sense. Michael Sundberg is the district manager for Davy Tree. It's just a tree service. They trim trees. And they have a shitty ass, nasty lot. That's in here twice. Then we have Allison McGowan? For Hampton Family Pet Hospital. And this is located at 3540 South Logan Street. And this Allison McGowan is the CSR lead, customer service rep lead. This is a great lead into customer service there, Allison. And this one is good for 1 year, and it was signed in September of 25. Then we have Linda Gonzalez of Auto Body and Frame Clinic, located at 3754 South Jason Street. Just another industrial place that, again, has a public sidewalk, and if somebody's on their property, they've broken into their property. So call the cops. Are you giving the cops the ability to just enter your property? What's going on here? Not doing business with you. That's September 25, and we'll be sure to tell others, as I am now, not to do business with you, because you think that you're entitled to the strong arm of government that is full of corruption and dishonesty to deal with maybe customers you don't like, or what? I don't. What's your process here? How often do you not take money from people you don't like, or every day, huh? Brook Power, because you're a private business, not the government. You don't get to steal it necessarily from others like the government does, or in the methods that government does. How long ago? How long have I been talking on mute? How did that even happen? So have I read all of this stuff on mute? I never hit mute. I must have accidentally. That was weird. Really? Huh. I've been reading off of this phone, and then it just muted, huh? For about 20 seconds. Yeah, that's good to know. Been a lot of weird things going on the boob tube of you, right? So not 20 seconds? Okay, still though, the fact that it even happened. So did we get the last one that I read? Linda Gonzalez of Auto Body and Frame Clinic at 3754 South Jason Street for 1 year, signed in September of 25, wherein I also said that you're not going to get a dime from me, and I'm going to tell everybody else why I think you shouldn't give these companies a dime for thinking that you have authority to use the strong arm of government to do your bidding for people you don't like. Also, the question was, how often do you take money from people you don't like? You do that often. So why are you entering into agreements with government to use force on people when your business doesn't call for that? I'm not understanding the business model, I guess, is what I was getting to. Brook Power, iLogic, 3531 South Logan Street, Unit A in Englewood, signed in August of 25. this good for 1 year, so that's coming up. Brooke is the office manager. Let's see. Linda Gonzalez is the co-owner with Alejandro Cabral of that body shop place, or whatever it's called, Auto Body and Frame Clinic. Then we got Brooke from the iLogic place. And this is the first batch of trespass agreements. We got Dylan Williams of Williams Jewelers. This is interesting. At 5095 South Broadway. And Dylan, I don't know who signed this with him, or who signed the other two. Gene Mulder signed this one with Linda Gonzalez, it looks like. Mulder. I could be wrong. It's a scribble. I'm guessing, so I'm pretty sure that's who it is. This is just a completely unlegible scribble of badge number 0004 with Brooke Power as the office manager over at iLogic. These are the cops going out and doing these. Interesting, huh? Dylan Williams says that he's the owner / manager. I suspect that to be true since it is Williams Jewelers. Wow, Williams Jewelers. I would probably never do business in your jewelry store because there's not likely one thing in there I can afford from what I think I know about Williams Jewelers. I have no desire to step in there anyway. And you're on the corner of Bellevue and Broadway in a fully gated, fully camera-loaded, giant, tall brick building with no windows. And I don't know why you would need a trespass agreement for Williams Jewelers. I'm assuming it's because you would like the Englewood Police Department to show up and remove anyone that might be panhandling or standing on the sidewalk in front of your business. Or, I mean, what else would be the reasons that you would enter into an agreement with the strong arm of government to use cops, to use force on people that might be breaking into your jewelry store that's already on a highly expensive alarm system that is likely connected to every police department in the metro area. I'm really, this one is really perplexing. Williams Jewelers. Yeah, you think so, Jennifer? Do you think the cops went in there? So this one was Scott Allen, a cop here in Englewood, badge number 9802, that went in there and signed this with him. Or perhaps Dylan Williams from Williams Jewelers came to the cop shop and said, hey, I need to get rid of these fucking people out in front of my business. I sell $1 million watches out here, and I can't have anybody out here that doesn't look like they're worth $1 million. And the cop said, oh, you know what? Well, we probably maybe can't really do anything about that, but maybe some days we could, Dylan. So if you want to go ahead and sign this for us, we might be able to do that. I mean, do you think that maybe that's how it went down? Or do you think the cops went into the business and Dylan Williams, the owner, just happened to be there at the counter when Alan walked in there? I mean, how do you think this went down? I mean, I'm not joking about Williams Jewelers. Kyle, what I would love to see in this, a lot of business is leased, yeah? And most employees do not know the property owner. So if the property owner looks like a homeless person, would the cop arrest him? That's interesting. And this is, when I told you it gets worse, it gets worse. And this is really super depressing. And there's a plethora of reasons why, none of which I probably have to go into great detail with you, to explain that Giving Heart of Englewood, the other nonprofit that does outreach with the homeless community, that has a brick and mortar here aside from 5280, has signed a trespass agreement with the Englewood Police Department. And what's interesting about that also is this little guy that I talked to yesterday on video talked about being able to connect with resources. He said Hat Force, then he said Giving Heart, and then he made some reference to Hornbuckle, and so he was kind of all over the place. But the fact that he did say Giving Heart broke my heart. Yeah. Angie, who is the assistant to the director of Giving Heart, who I know, I've met, had some conversation with, wanted to kind of work with Giving Heart because I really thought they were strong in what they did. And then I started to kind of get a weird feeling about how much cooperation that they have with the police. I just got a weird feeling about it. I didn't know any of this yet. And how there seemed to be this tone to, we'll just pray about what the cops are doing and what the government is doing to the homeless, and we'll just stay here in our building while you're out there with, while you're out there and dealing with the cops kind of attitude. And we don't really care too much to get involved about, jailing the homeless. And that's just really not our thing. Sure, I can respect some of that to a point. And that's fine. That's your operation. I was coming in to do some separate work. You were gracious enough to allow me to do that. But we don't agree. Yeah. And I knew that. And so I just separated myself from that operation. Poof, done. They let people come twice a week, take some showers. They have food. They have some outreach. But they also have a lot of judgment. Not the place for me. But isn't that grand that I can say, I don't fit in here, and I just walk away? But it didn't end there. I then saw this and went, that's why all that was happening. Giving Heart, Angie, the assistant to the director, signed a trespass agreement to give the cops full authority to come into their operation anytime. I can't work with people like that. I will never work with people like that. You literally are praying about, I'm going to stop there. I'm not going to get that deep into it. Exceptionally disappointing. This was a 1-year agreement signed back in August of 25. I hope you, Angie, pull your head out of your ass and don't do this again. And yes, I did notice all the videos that you're in when you're just palling up with the cops too. That was kind of a turnoff, if you will. And I do think the homeless community does have a right to know that Giving Heart has signed a trespass agreement with the cops. Then we have Jen Blake from Encore Catering at 3139 South Broadway. She is the general manager. This was a one-year agreement signed back in August of 25. And don't know who signed that. Don't know what cop signed that. Then we have Janae Davia at 1001 West Hampton for Chuck E. Cheese. You've seen Chuck E. Cheese in my video quite a bit. Chuck E. Cheese is right there in the same shopping, in the same upper complex of the Civic Center. Englewood owns that property. They sold that property to a developer who now doesn't want to be a landlord and is selling that property at a much higher asking price than they paid for it. That is where Chuck E. Cheese is. And they too have signed a trespass agreement. That would be Janae Davia, and she says that she's the general manager. And that also looks to be signed by Mulder. Or I don't know. That was signed in May of 25. So that's expired. So I don't know if there's a new one. Then we have Aaron Ziola of Harbor Freight Tools. I used to buy quite a bit of stuff at Harbor Freight in Englewood. I still like Harbor Freight. I just don't shop at the one in Englewood. And that was signed by Aaron Ziola, the assistant store manager, and McKay is the cop that signed that with him. That was in May of 25, and that was a one-year agreement. I suppose we could ask Harbor Freight if they still have that agreement in place and why they did that. Don't know, don't care. And there's this little note on the bottom of this. Entered in Smart Force on 5/7/25. So it was entered into some kind of database. So whatever that is, I find that interesting. Smart Force. Then we have Borrego of Quincy Cleaners, located at 4650 South Broadway Street. Yeah, this was Sergeant McKay again. He too made note, entered in Smart Force on 5/8 of 25. This was a one-year agreement. Then we have Alejandro Shenango Econo Wash at 75 West Shenango Avenue. I don't know what that is. Jones, badge number 9609, signed this with this person in May of 25. It was a one-year. Then we have Denise Thayer for Off-Broadway Wine and Spirits. Yeah, this one's at 51 Englewood Parkway. We know where this is at. And we've seen people talk to us about the police rolling up on them here and telling them they can't be anywhere around the liquor store. So this is the owner of that liquor store. So Denise, I don't know. Dinesh. Thapa, 51 Englewood Parkway. Then we have Janice Samuelson of 3141 South Lincoln, which I believe is an apartment. This was a 1 year, signed in May of 25, which, by the way, I also did some research. Some of these buildings were actual housing, government housing. Yep. I already know. Oh, yeah, we got a call. Are you talking to me about the 1 and 2 party consent laws in your state first? Or are you telling somebody else? Yeah, always be aware so you don't get hemmed up. I know we're good here. I don't have to tell anybody. Buzz Smoke Shop, 3912 South Broadway. Amanda Yurgo, who's the manager, entered into a 1 year in April of 25. Says she's the manager. Then Jennifer Harris. Wait a minute. We have a second one signed by Goodwill at 4160 South Broadway. This one was signed in April of 25 at a 1 year. And Jennifer was the ASM, Assistant Store Manager. So that's interesting. So what is that other one with Goodwill? So they went back to Goodwill, I'm assuming, and extended that. What did I read about the Goodwill? I'm going back here. Haley Smith, March of 26. Yeah, they came back. So, Jennifer, that lends some more anecdotal evidence to what you're saying. So now we got a new person over here signing this since the other one expired. Back to where we were. Ron Gold of Gold Sound, located at 4285 South Broadway. This is Mark Douglas. Interesting, Mark Douglas retired. Mark Douglas is the one that wanted to serve, well, that did serve me that notice of exclusion and ejection, which, by the way, you narrowly escaped being named a defendant in that lawsuit, Mark Douglas. Mark retired as a cop and came back as a code enforcer for Englewood. Or maybe he lost his post certification. I don't know. Whatever. I thought that was pretty funny shit. Yeah, so that's that. That's a 1 year, and that was signed in April of 25, so that's expired. We've got Tiffany Fixter of Brewability. That's down on the main stretch of Broadway, 3445 South Broadway. That was entered in April of 25. Tiffany is the owner. That's a restaurant, by the way. Katie Haley of DeVita Company, 3247 South Lincoln Street. This was done by Watts. We saw Officer Watts throw that sweet lady in the car by force and fight. She was not, I don't know that they really had grounds to take her out of her home. By the way, we watched that on live stream the other day during outreach, and I just happened upon her here standing at the corner today and stopped and talked to her. We've exchanged information. I hope she reaches out to me. She says she has no one. But that was Officer Watts. He has signed this agreement with Katie Haley, who is the facility administrator, in March of 26 for a 2-year. Oh no, that would be a, yep, 2-year. Then we've got Ashley Corral of Del Taco. Del Taco is across the street from Williams Jewelers and down just a tad bit, maybe a block or so, at 50 West Bellevue Avenue. Remember, Del Taco closed and then reopened. Don't ever go to Del Taco. I won't if you won't. You won't if I won't. That was in March of 26. That looks like a Mulder signature. Yeah, who's badge? Yeah, badge number 2104. We need to go look that up. I'm pretty sure that's her. Then we've got Sean Geary. Garrity? Geary, it looks like G-U-I-R-Y. Of 45008 LLC. Of 4500 LLC, located at 4500 South Navajo Street. Again, in their industrial area where there would be no reason for this. March of 26, that's a 2-year agreement. Looks like Mulder again. Stephen Schropfer, representative of Fuel to Fire Garage, LLC, located at 3770 South Jason Street. Shop owner operator, Stephen R. Schropfer. Again, industrial area. This is a 2-year agreement, signed in March of 26. Then we have Sean Collins, representative of the FOE, 3241, the VA Hall. Is that what I'm trying to say? Located at 3780 and 3790 South Jason Street. I once put together a football banquet for the children at this location. Sean Collins is the president of this FOE, Lodge 3241. Then we have Mary Kay White of Gallagher Investments, located at 4510 South Navajo Street. Mulder, again. Mary is the property manager, and this was signed in March of 26 for a 2-year agreement. Then we have Rick Arnold of the Impression Vault. This is an apartment. The Impression something or other, located at 4520 South Navajo Street, Suite A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and I. Signed by Mulder. Boy, she's just a regular old hooker of the we're authorité. Aren't you there, Jeannie Gal? Being the named defendant in my lawsuit. You and Aaron Glee. It's definitely her. Oh, Jeannie Gal, she's just out there shaking all her blonde wits. Along with that other stupid bitch from the 30-30 Maiden Plan. 30% women workforce by 2030. Rick Arnold. That's who that guy is. And he is the shop manager. So whatever the immersion vault is at 4520 South Navajo. Then we have Jamie Doyle of Arapahoe Credit Union. 303 East Hampton Avenue. Signed by Jones. Badge number 1505, back in March of 26. This person is the branch manager, Jamie Doyle. of Arapahoe Credit Union. That's a 2-year agreement. Then we have Lauren Morchan, Commercial Property Realty Holdings, Morchan Realty Holdings. 4055 South Broadway. That was signed in March of 26. They want all those businesses right there on the main street to sign all these, so they can definitely run the homeless away from there. Then we have Brittany Graff she's a homeowner. Interesting. Homeowners signing trespass agreements so the cops can go to their home. So this is a matter of public record. Brittany Graff at 2201 West Warren Avenue in March of 26 signed a trespass agreement with Officer Mulder a 2-year in March of 26. Smart. So we give homeowners special services. If you agree to just sign the dotted line right here, we'll just come take care of this little problem for you whenever we want or whenever you want us to. And you don't have to call. There doesn't have to be any record of it. Let that sink in. I mean, why wouldn't a police department be doing business like this? Brittany, representative of homeowner, located at 2201 West Warren Avenue. Orchestrated by Gene Mulder, who's currently being sued in a 1983 civil rights violation lawsuit in federal court. Yeah. Brian Qualls, representative of Privateer Enterprises, located at 3720 Unit A and B and 3700 South LaPan Street. This is a 2-year, signed in March of 26, by Totus. Doesn't say, he's the owner. Then we have Paul Harbaugh of Azusa Publishing, LLC at 3575 South Fox Street. He's the owner. Signed in March of 26. This is a 2-year agreement. Then we have Kaylin Patterson of Panda Hands, LLC. 3100 South Tacoma Street. Kaylin Patterson is the owner. Don't know who scribbled this with them. Cynthia France, don't know what cops scribbled. Cynthia France at 3490 South Race Street, the Kent Village Association. So I'm assuming this is a homeowners association. Entered into agreement in February of 26, 2-year agreement. Don't know who scribbled that. Cynthia France is the president of the Kent Village Association. Then we have Paramur, P-A-R-A-M-U-I-R, man, of the 7-Eleven at 3900 South Broadway. Is that the 7-Eleven at Broadway and Dartmouth? Which 7-Eleven is that, friends? Because I was just dancing for the cops at a 7-Eleven to the tune of Fuck the Police the other night. Let's Google that. 3900, let's see. I'm pretty sure that is. Oh no, that's the one across the street from that church. What's that side street? I don't remember this one. That's good. I won't be ever stepping foot in that 7-Eleven. And that's good to know. 3900 South Broadway. That's the 7-Eleven that has a trespass agreement. Oh man, there's so many of these. I just come across these and I'm like, what the hell? I forgot about that one. I forgot about that one. This shit is just, it's unreal that people are this stupid that they'll do this. Here's another homeowner, 4545 South Delaware Street, David Swenson. With no signature from the police representative that did this with David Swenson. At any rate, I could just go on. And I can't keep going on and on. So, with that, let's make one more journey that way. So, in case there is something going on, we can talk about it. And I'll be forced to end this stream soon because I have to go to my job because I'm a broke ass bitch and I managed to keep that job. This will be the third. I have 3 jobs now. I have to have this one to pay for what the, Just Us system has done and is doing to me, because I don't get on YouTube and ask for money. Remember, I've said that many, many times. So I'm a broke ass bitch. Maybe I should get to begging on YouTube. I don't know. Some people beg, some people say it's, this is what I do to be able to do what I do for you. Well, I don't think people really care that much unless you've got a YouTube channel with hundreds of thousands of followers. I mean, the stuff I do. Oh, by the way, we're going to just make a quick stop here so I can show you this one also. This building is on a trespass agreement because I already checked this one out. This is an apartment building on Broadway here. I don't know. I guess they don't want people on the sidewalk, on the public sidewalk. So we need it to look like we're giving the police authority to move people from private property. This is what I'm talking about. And everybody in this building, right? Does everybody in this building know that this has been entered into a trespass agreement, giving the cops the ability, I guess, to come up on your porch? I don't know. What are these people fucking thinking? So you have an unwanted trespasser on your property and they won't leave after you've asked them to leave? Then call the cops. It's that fucking simple. I'm guessing there's a whole... I want to say that not everybody in this building is a NIMBY pansy-ass statist, but I'm probably wrong. This whole building probably got together and said, we're sick of seeing homeless people. Yeah, every morning I wake up, there's one sleeping on my patio, and I fear for my life. And so we need this. I just wanted to point that out, that too is on, they have a trespass agreement with the cops, giving them the ability to do whatever they want or not. Isn't that what's supposed to happen when you call the police? And this is private residences. These are private, what? Make this shit make sense. So people are getting preferential services over other residents here. I wonder if the residents of Englewood know that. I wonder if they actually know that. Now, wouldn't that be interesting that Regan has all of this information, and every time she goes to city council, they know it's going to be some kind of power message on the record that people probably didn't know what was happening. And she's the one that's now been arrested 3 times, most recently this past week, when she went to the podium to make public comment about the police department ensuring that certain people couldn't access the public transportation system, things like that. And isn't it interesting that I had even sent the command staff at the Englewood Police Department an email? People are struggling. It is so hot, and they are So up there is some cop action, or at least the cherries and berries resemble that of a police car. So I had sent an email to all of command staff over at the Englewood Police Department telling them, and this was long before, not long, like 5 days maybe before the city council meeting, when I'm trying to get them to hear me and take my complaints serious, and they just continue to ignore me. I said, well, I guess you can tell city council I'm coming. Maybe if you do that, they'll ban me from the meeting. Isn't that ironic? And I also told them I'm going to the city council meeting to insult your intelligence. And lo and behold, I get arrested. Isn't that interesting? Well, I'm guessing, since I'm passing that ambulance, that what I thought were cherries and berries of a police car were that of an ambulance and not a police car. Yeah, these businesses over here, there's some here also. I mean, I could literally, I think, do this for like a week straight, driving around and showing you all these businesses that have entered into a trespass agreement. With Englewood. So yeah, I do think that a lot of these things that happen, as far as let's make sure that Regan can't put stuff on the record. Yeah, I think they're planned. I do think they are planned. This guy is literally just laying on the sidewalk right here. He looks like he might just be sleeping, but that's not enough for me. Oh, it just happens that we're in front of Moe's Original Barbecue that has a trespass agreement. Right here. No business for Moe's. And this guy has a Pepsi can in front of him. Hang tight. Sir. Excuse me. Yeah, he's moving. You okay? Do you need some water? Can I bring you some water? Can I give you some water? No, I don't. I'm not going to give you money. I just want to make sure you're okay. Are you okay? Do you need some water? I'm going to give you some water in a cool. Okay, so since you're talking to me like that, I'm not going to give you anything. All right.
Come on, bitch. Hey, fuck you. Come on, bitch. Gonna do. That's on hand. You're gonna do it, bitch.
So, yes, it happens. Yes, you got to be prepared. That's why you can't just get on up in there. So, it's called outreach. So, he's still flipping me off, and he's spitting and carrying on, and so he's okay. He's sitting up. He's fully alert. He's got a Pepsi in front of him. So now he's mad as hell. I guess I should have just left him alone. So he's alive and doing well. So that's good. Off we go. It is 100 degrees in the shade. He never got up though. He did sit up. He is on a public sidewalk. And yeah. You know what I'm starting to understand? Right for the moment, and not that this is a foolproof thing, but it's honesty and transparency about really what's going on out on the streets, because I haven't been out regularly until lately, until I heard about how the cops were interacting with the homeless again. But Englewood, I have a feeling, is doing a lot of undercover stuff. And I feel like because of it, the dependency on alcohol has taken a big jump, if you will. Because I have never seen, even in Englewood, this level of alcohol-related issues, if you will. That's just my assumption and my guess and my anecdotal eyes of evidence. And ears, of course. Alcohol addiction is one of the absolute worst things to deal with if you know about things that go on on the streets in comparison to meth and even fentanyl. But we have so many fentanyl-related deaths and overdoses. We have to have a new and increased war on drugs, because the war on drugs has been productive. And I'm not saying is leading to more alcohol dependency. I don't know. It's so stupid to me. All of it. All of the war on drugs is stupid to me for obvious reasons. It doesn't work. It makes things worse. Do you know that I have never ever had an issue with let me rephrase that. I've never had a physical issue where I faced imminent physical violence from anyone that I have made direct contact with on the streets. Raw contact like that. I've never been assaulted. I've never faced something where I thought, oh my God, I'm gonna die if I don't get the hell out of here. The assault that happened to me, the homeless individual that assaulted me knew me very well and was after me because he knew I was onto his shit about what he was doing to women out here on the streets, and the fucking cops weren't listening to me. And that was all in Denver, by the way. And that was a very violent assault, very. And he was known to me. All of these people out here on the streets that may be having a crisis or whatever, you know how to read things. You just do. You know how to be able to stay away from certain things or situations that might produce violence. Yes, there are violent people living in homelessness. There are. And there are criminals, hardcore violent criminals that are living in homelessness for that purpose of committing more violent crime. I'm not stupid. And it has happened, but it doesn't happen very often. It just doesn't. Those are facts. The crime that is occurring are like criminal career criminals, like they would be anywhere else in society, whether it could be your next door neighbor or Charles Manson, whatever. Yeah, there's some of that in the homeless community, but it is exceptionally rare. Yes, there are unsafe situations where homeless people have died at the hands of other homeless people. Yes. And again, they're rare. I think being aware and understanding mental illness is super important. And yes, there are people that are, their mental illness causes their violence because they're not medicated or whatever. But to walk through life on a daily basis and go, oh, I'm so scared. That guy, he's screaming at me. No, really, bottom line is he's just drunk. I woke him up. I shouldn't have. I just wanted to make sure he was alive. I can go about my day and leave him be. And I can almost guarantee you if I drive back by there, he's either not going to be there or he's laying back down. It's sad. It's not funny. It's sad. Kyle, what are you doing? Wait, what are you posting there? How are you posting those? Oh, are those things that I put out as a thing because you're a member of my channel? Thank you so very much. I think that's what those are. Yeah, and then, yeah, let's have some honest conversations also about who's really delivering the drugs. I laugh, but it's kind of entertaining in who controls the drug flow. So, who might be actually doing all the meth. But I think you all get it as far as the differences in dealing with alcoholics versus people that do meth. Alcohol is going to take you to your death sooner if you are truly in this pattern of use. And I've watched some of that out here, and it's one of the saddest, most horrendous things to watch somebody die this slow but fast death from alcohol. It's bad. Yeah, it's bad. So in that whole conversation, ANCAP, I think that you initiated, about who's intercepting and delivering, that would make sense that this is going on, right? Am I right or am I wrong? Yay! That's what those are. Right on. You guys, I'm sorry. I am like not into, I set that up for the memberships and I put those little pictures in there. Yeah, right on. I need more members. Can you join my channel, please, if you're in here? I should be pushing channel memberships. I need a full-time PR manager who can do that for free. I need somebody to do it for free. I don't have any money to pay you. I'm a broke-ass bitch. Yeah, just think what we could do here if we stop giving other countries money and creating these endless wars. Yeah. I got one. Two sis, thank you. That's my standard membership. Please, if everybody would do that, that would be awesome. What is it, $1.99 a month? That's why I said it like that. Because if I need to start pushing that, don't I? I've got to start pushing that. If I got $2 a month from, I was just saying that the other day. Look, if the 30 of you give $2 here, I can go buy X amount of gift cards. If I had all 24,000 of my followers that Joel Bell is afraid of, wherein about 35 to 75 of you watch a live stream on any given live stream. Thank you. If I had just 35 of you giving $2 a month, that'd pay for a lot of stuff, actually. Right now, I'm desperate to keep things running. I gotta keep the administrative stuff of the nonprofit going, and that stuff still costs me about $150, $200 a month to do all the things I need to do. I gotta have the hosting for the website. I gotta have the mail. I gotta have my fees for all my filings. I gotta have my StreamYards account. I gotta have, yeah, well, so that's some of what I gotta have. And gas money is always nice when I'm doing outreach. I usually don't take gas money out of the nonprofit. I'm usually paying for that too. Could be another reason why I'm a broke ass bitch, because I've put too much of my money into the nonprofit when I should have just stopped the work and not paid for those things that the nonprofit should have been paying for. Yeah, I'm guilty of that. Oh, right now we're over at the King Soopers parking lot. They don't share any of this with the cops, and the cops aren't watching through that camera. Oh, and that liquor store I read to you right here. We were into showing all the stuff. Yeah, this is Denisha Tampawama. Yeah, trespass agreement with the Englewood Police Department. Isn't that pretty convenient? There's the camera. There's the place. There's the King Poopers, which is another place I absolutely don't shop at. So, yeah, at any rate. You never know. It can happen on a Regan Benson live stream. I got a new member. Thank you, too, sis. I appreciate it. Could everybody please? Could you just go become a member? It's $1.99 a month. And all of that money goes into the nonprofit because this account is connected to the nonprofit. Please, you're not giving it to me. You're not giving it to this broke ass bitch because she didn't use nonprofit money to pay for nonprofit work. You're giving it to the nonprofit so this broke ass bitch can keep doing nonprofit work. Yeah, that is quite the Halo cam system on that operation, isn't it, Joy? Oh, he gifted those. Oh, Kyle, thank you so much. So that's how you got it. Right on. So you'll only have that for like a month, though, right? Or 3 months or something like that. How does that work? Oh, that was really generous. Thank you for doing that. How do I know that that's happened? I have no idea. I don't know. If anybody has the quick education on channel memberships and you can email me, I would really appreciate it. Like, I can't even find it in Studio. I don't even know what is going on with it. I set it up and now I have no way to push it. I can't find it. Like, I wanted to make a post. I can't find it anywhere to be able to do that. I don't even know what's going on. But then this kind of stuff happens, and look how dirty my phone screen was. Sorry about that. You bought yours, but when you gift them, it's for a month. Okay. All right. Thank you for buying that. And thank you, Kyle, for buying and gifting 10 of those for a month. That's awesome. Now I'm supposed to go do the members perk stuff, wherein people that have those memberships get special treatment. Well, here's what I'll tell you I'll do. I'll produce a trespass agreement, and if you all sign it and give me the ability to trespass on your property, that must be Dinesh himself. He got in his car, and he's going to do a delivery. It says we deliver on his car. Yeah. From the liquor store. That's right next to the camera that the cops don't have access to. Maybe this is Englewood's trailer. I thought this was King Super's trailer. We need to go check this out before I end this. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if the city bought this and owns it. Oops, sorry about that. What do you think? You think it'll start talking to me? Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of curious because this seems like an awfully fancy one for King Supers. I mean, this King Supers is such a shithole. Nobody shops here. I don't even know why it's still open. I get they had a big thing set up here in the parking lot, like they were going to remodel it. I think they did a couple things in there. I mean, they need to tear that shithole down. It's gross. And not only that, I mean, you want to talk about Kroger being one of the worst anyway, and then couple it with their nasty, hateful, horrible staff. Nobody can use a bathroom in there. And they don't even let you use the bathroom. It's for employees only. Yeah, this place, that's the King Supers, after that last strike and all their bullshit, where the union negotiated extra security, you know, for the checkers' safety, and then it was nothing but a harassment of the customers approach. Fuck them. I'm done shopping there too. I have been for a long time. I buy nothing at Kroger. I take that back. I bought some sushi. I buy some sushi from time to time at the only one that I think's worth a shit. And sometimes I'll buy some flowers on clearance at that one. I hate Kroger. They're terrible. They're a terrible company. They've gone to shit. Totally overpriced. Rain, how are you today? Rain is a member also. Thank you very much. Again, I'm calling for channel memberships here. I would love it if anybody and everybody in here could go subscribe to my channel for a membership, which I don't know how to tell you to do. I have no idea. I set it up. It's too difficult. But that would be awesome if everybody would go. Oh, yeah. I had an incident with the cops. Because homeless folks got kicked out while they were shopping. Oh, yeah. That was Kroger in Aurora. That was King Supers. Yes. I also got chased around King Supers by the Littleton Police Department in King Supers. They gave no shits. I wrote to them about that. They didn't care. I wrote to them about that incident in Aurora. Got no response on that as well. I'm sure they were afraid. They're like, shit, we're going to get sued, which I probably should have. But again, that's not why I do this stuff. And at the time, that was Officer Christopher Sloan over in Aurora, right? We took Crystal and Jeremy to get some groceries. Sloan had a problem with Jeremy because Jeremy would stand his ground and cuss out Sloan while Crystal was in the grocery store. And so Sloan was abusing his authority and trespassed them from King Soopers. So they couldn't get groceries. They were living in their car. They stayed in a park across the street from King Soopers. Their car was a disaster, breaking down constantly. I finally got them to a point where I followed them so they could get their car worked on, right? Yeah, we went through all of these things, but that was one of the funniest videos ever, where Sloan is like, if you follow me, I'm going to have you arrested. For what? The fuck you going to have me arrested for following a cop on foot in the fucking parking lot of King Soopers as he's in full uniform, giving tickets for trespassing, threatening to arrest everybody. And he's telling me he's going to arrest me for following him because now he wants off camera because he's done fucked up. And he wants to get back into the King Soopers. Where was that? On Sable or, yeah, out in Aurora. It's not a great area. But he's working off duty there after Aurora lied to me. I'd already filed a complaint. Crystal had already filed a complaint. They lied to me and said Sloan was out of town and they haven't had time to investigate the complaint, blah, 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 all these fucking lies. And so I got Sloan on camera threatening to arrest me. And really, seriously, if you're going to threaten to arrest me, you probably better just do it. Because your threats are not going to get me to stop when I know I'm not breaking the fucking law. So if you're going to threaten to arrest me, you know you're violating my rights, just go ahead and do it. Because I'm not going to back down from that shit. And so he runs into the store and he hides and he goes and gets the security guard, much like what Dave Jackson did, but in the government building. He goes and gets his allied buddies. So does Sloan in the King Soopers. And this fucking dork comes out. He's like, you need to leave. I'm like, really? Why? Did that cop tell you I need to leave? I told them that I was going to leave since I guess you got your orders from the store manager, Angelique. I asked him his manager's name, Angelique, Angie or whatever. I'm like, oh, okay, so your manager told you to tell me to come out here after the cop went and got her to tell you to tell him to come out here to tell me to leave for recording a cop on duty in a tax collection public parking lot? in a store that collects taxes for the government and calls the police on people? You're telling me to leave? Yeah, okay, I'll probably leave. But in the meantime, Sloan had called for backup. So this cop shows up and Sloan's like, you better leave because I'm telling you, if backup gets here, you are going to be arrested. Well, next thing I know, the car's already there. The guy gets out. He's fucking jerking me around, slapping handcuffs on me. So on the way to the jail, my live stream's still running. Well, this cop realizes he's done fucked up now too. So he starts being super nice to me. I could just rehearse some of this stuff. You don't want to hear this. It's boring. Anyway, go watch the video. In fact, I'm going to put it. It's one of the best videos that DMA edited for promotion in the algorithm. It's a great, great video. I must find it and I must put it in this chat for you. Please go watch it. I think it's called Cop Caught Harassing Veteran. Yeah. Cop Caught Harassing Homeless Vet. It's from 3 years ago. And by the way, I just saw Christopher Sloan in a video all over Facebook. Yeah, he's still a cop. Imagine that. Acting like an ass clown again. And I went back to go find that video and I couldn't find it. So imagine, if you will, that the police don't take care of their red flag cops and they, go get union protection and this and that, and they end up becoming worse cops. There it is. I just put it in the chat. Yeah, Joy, just like you said, or get out of the car, I'm going to break your window kind of thing. Yeah, so we got a bunch of blocked comments that I just unblocked because I don't have a mod right now. I'm noticing, Rain, since you said, since you're such a broke-ass beach and your trespass is on stay, I think you should get a job at the library. That's funny. You're cute. No. Yeah, smash that thumbs up, you guys. Smash the thumbs up button right now. Let's see, what else? Sorry, now that I opened my phone, I gotta respond to all this. Oh, I must go do this. So there's a homeless individual who this was also brewing here in Englewood. I want to tell you this quick story. It's important. And then when I'm done, you must go watch that Christopher Sloan video. Oh, is Jennifer still here? Right on. She may not be, because there were a lot of blocked comments. Here's some more on Joy's. And you guys know that YouTube blocks those. And then mods have to be paying attention and they need to get shown, or I have to be in here. So just because you don't see your comments does not necessarily mean you've been 86th from my channel. This is all YouTube shit too. Bobby Yaga, what's happening? You are now a mod. So, Jennifer, okay, cool. You're still here. Thank you. I know, like, you're listening, so I get it. You can't be everything all the time, everywhere. So, okay, so anyway, I want to tell you this quick story. So, the Englewood cops tased a homeless man's dog. And I believe what this homeless man, let me back up. It's a homeless couple. And I believe what this man has told me to be truth, because there is a checks and balances system to understanding the truth. And it's pretty rare that people lie to me out here when they are desperate for help. Okay? So I did a records request, and lo and behold, imagine, if you will, the person over at Englewood that manages the records that I need has a problem with me. I mean, what? And has a history of working overtime to protect the department. Imagine, if you will, this individual telling me, I can't give you that because you didn't give me a case number. And until I get a case number, there's nothing I can do because you're asking this question and takes this entire side road to the actual request, because she has a history of adding chaos to the request and making herself look like a fucking fool. And she has done this before, and she's not going to get away with it this time either, but she thinks she's going to. So this individual has messaged me with the documents that he has that I'm going to go get a picture of right now. History here in Englewood is that Englewood likes to do bad things, and they do those things because they get away with those things. And so with that, I'm going to end this stream so I can go get this stuff from this individual and hope that these folks aren't going to become bigger targets by the cops in the meantime. And also, I knew of this situation, and they knew I knew of this situation before I went to the city council meeting on Monday also. Kyle upgraded his membership to exclusive. Wow, right on. Thank you so very much. So with that, please go join my channel with a membership. And I don't know how to tell you to do that, but if you could, it would be great. And go watch that video I just posted in the chat that I hope to remember to post in the comments. And thanks for joining us on this stream titled, whatever I titled it, about businesses. Englewood Business Not to Support Part 1, wherein we went and saw some businesses that have entered into agreement with the Englewood Police Department to allow the police department to come on their property anytime they see fit to do whatever they want or not. And there's over 100 of those agreements back as of March of 2026. And I'm just getting around to showing you those, and I'm sure there's more. And that's part 1, and I think we only covered maybe 40 of the over 100 properties wherein I showed them to you and read them to you. So stay tuned for Englewood Biz Not to Support Part 2 next time. Peace. Or whenever the next live may be.